Hello and welcome. Welcome to Meta Business Essentials. In today's episode, we're going to cover the Meta Platform Foundations, setting up your business page, your business manager, how to optimize your ads manager so that we can get the best performing ads, business manager protection, and then finally ad account survival. So without wasting time, this episode is pretty much going to get you set up to start advertising using Meta. And when I refer to Meta, we're just talking about Facebook and Instagram. So we're going to start off with the Meta Platform Foundations today. And really, this is just going to be to make sure that you're all okay to start advertising through Meta. So the first step to running a successful ads campaign with Meta is to have a Facebook page attached to your Facebook profile. So hopefully majority of you have already got one, but if you don't, what I'm going to start with today is just walking you through the business page setup. And just as we go throughout today's episode, if you feel like you've already got everything set up, still stick around until the end because there's a couple of resources that I'm going to give out and also just a couple pointers that I'm going to give you guys that you may not already be doing with your business manager, with your Facebook business page and things like that. And I'm going to help you to get everything set up correctly so that you can start seeing the best results from your ads. So if you've had yourself do this before or you've had like an agency go through and do this, still stick around and watch this one because it's going to be really important that you set everything up correctly. So in terms of the Meta business page, the reason why this is so important is because the page is the name and the image, and that profile picture is what your potential leads are going to see when you're advertising. So it needs to look professional and it needs to look trustworthy, not just for leads that are clicking on your profile, which they will do that, but also for Meta to understand that this is a real business. So what we can actually do is create a Meta business page. If you guys don't have one, I'm going to walk you through that process now. We click here in pages in your Facebook page, create new page. And let's say I wanted to call this one Easy CrossFit, Gym Physical Fitness Center. For now, just do something simple like this. And we're going to click create page and it's going to allow us to create the page. And now we've got a couple checklists, or we've got a couple items on our checklist. If I head back into the PowerPoint here. So to have a complete page, we need to make sure that we've got a profile picture, a cover picture, about description, at least 20 posts on the newsfeed. Just make it look like it's active, that you're actually running a business and this is in use before you go ahead and start doing ads or anything like that. Okay, just make sure it looks legit and active, as I've said here. Other things, make sure your page has got anywhere from 300 to 500 page likes at a minimum. So if you don't currently have a Facebook page that's got this many likes, especially if you've just created one, then what you're going to do, first of all, is just invite your current members, friends, family, get people sharing it about. And if you're having trouble with anything like that as well, you're more than welcome to share it in the community or share it with us and we'll try and figure some things out for you. Okay, so make sure you've got a minimum of 300 to 500 likes. Make sure that it looks active, as I've said. And then we'll go through sort of some of this stuff in a second here. So if I just hop out of here and head back into that page, you can see that you can start to set up that page, going through here, putting in all the information. Now, obviously, I'm just going to click next and just not do this right now. But you would go through here, add a profile picture, add a cover photo. Awesome. Again, I'm just going to skip through this now just so we can get through this. Notifications, if you want to keep those on or off, and then click done. And now you've got a Facebook business page and that will be attached to the profile that you logged in with. Now, obviously, this is not complete, but if I was to show you one that was complete, it would be. So really what you're looking for is to have a good amount of likes on there. You want to have an intro, a website attached to it. If I go to about here, you want to have an about description here. Okay, just make sure that it looks legit and active. Photos, you want to make sure you've got things on there. Post at least 20 posts. So as you can see from this page, it looks like it's legit and active compared to this one that I've just created. But to save time, I'm not going to go through creating 20 posts and going through the whole process now. But now we should be on the same page. So this is what we got to do. This is what we have to do. Okay, create that page, go through this whole checklist, and then page verification. This is going to be based on if you're eligible for that. And to check that, you would need to head into the Meta Business Suite, which we'll get into very shortly. Now, final things here is going to be connecting this Facebook page with your Instagram business page. So if you don't have an Instagram business page, it's very simple. You would just go ahead and create an account on Instagram, and then you can choose if you want it to be a business page or not. Very simple, but you want to make sure that you've got continuity between the two so that you can run things like Facebook and Instagram ads at the same time, etc., using the same profile information. You can also do things like sharing content between the two, which means that let's say you took a a video and you wanted to post it on your Instagram, it would also share on your Facebook page, and it just helps to sustain that growth and get those impressions up. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. Now, in terms of connecting with your Instagram page, very simple. All you need to do is head to your profile, making sure we're in that new page that we've just created. Settings and privacy, settings. You'll see it says here linked accounts. We click here and then we'd go ahead and we'd connect our account. It would ask us to sign in through Instagram, allow access to Instagram messages in inbox. This is really important when we come to connecting with high level. We want to make sure that we've got messages coming in from both of them. So click confirm, and then it's going to go through the process and ask you to log in. Now, I'm not going to log in through EasyFlex because, well, I'm already logged in through another account, but you would go through there and then back into the PowerPoint. If I wanted to connect with lead connector, which just means high level, essentially, what I would need to do from here is go back into Facebook. I'd swap back into my personal profile, and we're in the settings here. And so at the top, I would just type in business integrations. And you'll see that I'm connected here, but you would just go ahead and type in at the top here, lead connector. And then you would find a lead connector here. And very simple, you just want to make sure that it's got availability to manage ads for the ad accounts, Facebook ads, pretty much give it everything. And then it's going to choose which Instagram accounts within that Facebook profile. So you want to make sure that you've selected the Instagram account you want to give it access to. If you've got a couple there, make sure it's the one that's for your facility, for your gym. So once that all looks good, again, just following everything you see on the screen here. And then we just want to go ahead and click save. And from here, we've effectively gone through this checklist. Now, just to reiterate, the reason why it's so important that you have this page set up and it looks active is just because it massively reduces the chances of Meta banning your Meta business page from running advertisements if they can see that it's a functioning business. So now we got that set up. We're going to go through the business manager setup. So the first step, if you don't already have a business manager, is going to be to create your business manager account. So if I once again hop out of here, and the business manager is going to be based on the Facebook account that you're in. So if I was to swap back into my account here, and from here in my search bar, I would type in business.facebook.com. Now it's going to take you into the Meta Business Suite. As you can see here, it's already got the page that I've just created, Easy CrossFit. And the Meta Business Suite is a hub for you to essentially look at your content, schedule things out, things like that. This is a bit more of a creative place. As you can see, create reel, create story. To be honest with you, I don't even really use this. I would just use the in-app features. But if you wanted to create, for example, Instagram posts from Facebook, you would be able to do it here. But what we want to do is go into Business Manager and create that account. So if you don't see this page, it's because you haven't created one of these, which is a business account. So you would just need to go through and create that. Now, I already have a bunch of business pages and you're only allowed one per Facebook account. So I can't unfortunately show you through that, but it's very simple. You just go through, name your business manager, put in some information about your business, and then you should be met in the Meta Business Suite with me here. So what we're going to do is go over to settings, and we're going to end up in our business settings. So this is our business manager settings. Now we're out of the Meta Business Suite. What we can go ahead and do is start adding in some of our assets. So if I go under pages here, you can see that I can come in here and I can press add a page. Find your page here. So Easy CrossFit, that's mine, add page. Make sure that you're the admin of that page. Awesome. So from here, we can go ahead and add Instagram accounts. Okay, so you can see that I've already got EasyFlex in this one. This is, by the way, this is one of our backup business managers. So I've shared assets and I'll go through all of that sort of process in a second here. You could press add here, connect your Instagram account, and it's going to ask you to sign into an Instagram account that you would like to connect. Just make sure that's your facility's Instagram account and you've got access in the business manager. So once that's all good and you've got an Instagram account, you've got your Facebook page in there, the next thing is going to be moving on to add accounts. So if I go under accounts here, onto add accounts. Now, I'm just going to hop back into the PowerPoint for a second. The main thing is we want to create as many ad accounts as possible so that we've got them as backups, essentially. Now, if you've just created a business manager with me here, then you're typically only going to be allowed to create one ad account to start with. And the more money that you spend with Meta through running Facebook ads, Instagram ads, the more ad accounts they're going to free up for you to have. And as I said, it's just really nice to have multiple ad accounts, especially if you're running multiple facilities just to break things up, or just to have another one on the back burner just in case anything was to happen to your main one. So from there, we're going to go through this checklist, which is creating ad accounts, and then we're going to add payment methods, go through this verification process. So starting off with an ad account, to create one at the top, you would just click add, As you can see, this is a backup one we haven't actually started using yet. So I've already created one, but you would be able to add multiple here. Once you've created that account, very simple, you can go ahead and start assigning people. So if I was to just backpedal here and go back to users at the start, people, it's just going to be you in here to start with if you've just created one. So you want to make sure that for each ad account that you create, you've at least assigned yourself as the user. And then make sure, give yourself manage ad accounts access and click assign. Awesome. And in terms of partners here, this is if you have another business manager. So if you want another business or an agency to come in and have access to this ad account and run ads through this ad account, then you would click assign partners and you'd need that business ID. Moving on to payment methods for this ad account now. Now I've got on the slides here, you want to have at least 2 to 3 payment methods on file. This is just going to keep Meta out of your hair a little bit because they're going to have peace of mind knowing that you've got backups on file. If you're running ads with only one payment method on file, they're typically going to be a little bit on edge, and it just increases the chances of you getting your account banned or anything like that. So the main thing is, and you're going to notice a theme, is we want to make sure that we've got the green light and we're not going to get banned at all. So make sure that it's legitimate company cards. It's not PayPal. Okay, so to add payment methods, we'll just go onto the sidebar here. We go to billing and payments, accounts, and then you can click on the individual ad account that you've got. Again, if you've just created one here, you're only likely going to have one. And it's going to give you the pointer here to set up your account. Just click get started. And then it's going to ask you to put in your first payment method. Now you want to, like I said, have at least 2, maybe even 3 payment methods on file just to make sure that you're all good. So you would just click and add them here, click and add them here. And that's that. Heading back into the PowerPoint. Some other things you can do just to help secure your business manager. The first thing is going to be to verify your business manager. So what we're going to do, head back into business settings, business information. First of all, just making sure we've got 2-factor authentication on for everyone. And then what you'll see here is business verification status says unverified. Just click view details. And then if your page is eligible, then you'll be able to verify your business manager. Now, not everyone is, and it's not the end of the world if you're not. So that's all good. Heading back into the PowerPoint here. Now we want to verify our domain. This is extremely important. So if you think back to the domain that we bought within that system initiation episode, that's a domain that we're going to add to our funnels and start advertising through potentially. So we want to make sure that's all verified through your Meta business page so that when it comes to starting those ads, it's going to be nice and seamless and you're not going to get flagged down. Back into business settings here. We want to go into brand safety and suitability domains. And then you want to add your domain, create new domain. Adding that one in, click add. Now it's going to give you a couple options of what you can do. What I would recommend you do is click the DNS text record and update your domain register. It's going to give you the record here. Click to copy. And then we're going to go into our DNS settings and add this record. Nice and easy. Select our domain here, manage DNS. We're going to add a new record. It's going to be a text record. I'm going to paste in that value there. And we're going to add the @ symbol. Click save. Now that's all updated, we just go ahead and go back into here and we click verify domain. And as you can see, the domain is now verified and it's all set for this business manager account. So that's all done. We can exit off, head back into the PowerPoint. And our final point here is we want to start inviting trusted Facebook friends and family as admins on this account. So you're going to want to have 2 or 3 backup admins so that if anything was to ever happen to your own Facebook account, you could log in through theirs. So that's very simple to do. We're going to head into here, under users, select people, invite people, and then you're going to need the Facebook email that they've signed up through Facebook with. So at random here, if I was just to do this one, click next. And from here, you can choose the amount of access that you give them. If we're adding admins, you want to make sure they've got full control, and this is so that you would be able to control it through their Facebook account, as I said, if anything was to ever happen to your own. Next. Then you can start to assign them to assets. So you want to assign them to that page you've created. Full control everything. Invite. As I said, you want to go ahead and repeat that process for at least 2 to 3 backup admins. Ads Manager optimization. Now, Ads Manager is the hub of where we have our ad account and we can manage ad creatives and ad campaigns and things like that. There's a way that we like to optimize our Ads Manager at EasyFlex so that we can run profitable campaigns and just have everything work together smoothly. So now what I'm going to do is exit off of here, and I'm going to head into one of our ad accounts, the ad account that we just created, and we're going to declutter your Ads Manager essentially. Now, the reason you want to declutter and clean up your Ads Manager is so you can actually collect data and view the performance of your campaigns at a moment's glance. And to do this, you need to customize a column or do what's called creating a custom column so that you can view only the data that's actually useful to your campaign and not all of the other stuff that Meta likes to throw in there. So to do that, we're going to head into Ads Manager, which is very simple. If we go from our Business Manager to Ad Accounts, open in Ads Manager. Okay, from here, we're going to go into Columns. Now, as you can see, I've already got a custom one, but what you would do is click Customize Columns here. And what you want to do is X off every single thing you see. And then with me, we're going to start to customize this column so that we can only see the things that we care about. So the first one's delivery, amount spent, see how much we've spent on this campaign, impressions, reach, again, following along in order, CPM, so a cost per mil or cost per 1,000 impressions, link clicks. From here, we're going to do CTR, which is our click-through rate, cost per click, results, so how many leads are we getting, or whatever the objective for the campaign is, how well is that performing, our cost per result, how much is it costing us, finally our budget, and then date created as well. So we can just see the exact date at the end there that it was created. What you want to do is click apply. And then back in, you want to save this. You can save it whatever you want. Easy tracking. And now every time that you go into your account here and you've got campaigns, let's just imagine they're here, you would be able to, at a moment's glance, see all the data you need to see. So it doesn't look like, let's just give an example, post reactions, post comments, all these things that we don't really care about. Click there. Now we see all the important stuff. So we've effectively decluttered our Ads Manager. Now we're not quite done yet because we need to update our attribution settings to see who viewed or took action on the first click of your ad and who took action within either 7 or 28 days of clicking that ad. That gives you a little bit more data. So from here, we're going to go into compare attribution settings. I'm going to do 1-day view, apply comparison, and again, compare attribution settings. And we can do 7-day click, apply to comparisons. Now this is really important data because not everybody who interacts with your ad or views it from that first time will actually become a lead from your ad. So you should select a 7-day click to see once people have clicked on it, then how well are they converting. And if you really want to get down to it, you can even go and select a 28-day click just to make sure that over a 28-day period, those people that have clicked on your ad have now converted and became a lead. So that's all set up. The next thing we're going to do is start to create custom audiences. Now, custom audiences are really important for building a bank of users who engage with you on, let's say, Facebook or Instagram in any way. And Meta basically allows you to create custom audiences to collect this data for you in the background. And that happens at all times. It's super simple and very easy to set up. Now, this is going to be especially useful later on when we get into running paid ads and retargeting campaigns. So basically that means that we can advertise to people who already know you in some way once we collect this data from them. And now that we have that Facebook page set up, I'm going to walk you through setting up a couple of custom audiences today from your Facebook page and also your Instagram page. So the first step to creating that custom audience is going to be heading into the Business Manager. So from here, the Business Manager, we're going to click All Tools. We're going to locate Audiences. At the top, we're going to click Create Audience, Custom Audience, and we're going to select Facebook page. We're going to click Next. Now what we want to do is select that page we've just created. Then for our first event, it's going to be everyone who engaged within your page within the last 365 days. We want to click Include More People. And we're going to go through and click anybody who engaged in any of your posts or ads, include more people. Anybody who saved any post, include more people. Anybody who clicked any call to action button. Now what we're going to do is name this FB retargeting, and then description, custom audience, create audience. And we'd go ahead and we'd repeat those same steps for Instagram. So click Instagram account next, and make sure that you have the Instagram account that you want to set this up for located within your business manager. So I'm just going to use the Easy Flex one here as I've got access to it. Include more people. Anybody who, so first one's always going to be engaged. Second one's always going to be anyone who saved a post or ad. And then anybody who engaged within any post or ad as well. Once again, IG retargeting, and just click create audience there. So we will revisit this when it comes to setting up Facebook ads. As you can see, it takes a couple of weeks to populate, which is why I wanted to add this in earlier on in the program so that you can have this set up within your Meta Business settings so that it can start collecting key data when it comes to launching your ads, launching things like retargeting down the road. As I've said, it's just really important that we've got this set up. As I put in the PowerPoint here, the sooner you start collecting this data, the better your results and the lower cost per lead you will get from running ads when you start using these custom audiences. So that's that. Now I'm going to head into Meta Business Protection, which is our next thing on the list here. So just a bullet point, some rules to keep your business manager protected. I spoke a little bit about this earlier, but first thing is going to be two-factor authentication. You want to make sure this is set up for every single member. So I already went through that earlier on. Facebook identity verification. So I'm actually going to hop out of here and show you what I mean by that. So within your personal Facebook account, you can verify your identity using your ID. And that just shows Meta and it shows Facebook that you are who you say you are. It's the small things that count, and little things like this we've seen throughout the years of doing this. If you upload, for example, government IDs, driving license, things like that, and get your personal Facebook account approved with your ID, it's going to help with your Meta Business account, is what we've seen. To go through there, I'm going to leave a link below. 2 or 3 payment methods, we went through the importance of that, keeping your business manager safe. 2 to 3 backup admins, again, that's a minimum, making sure they're from trustworthy sources, people that wouldn't mind sharing their Facebook account details if you've got a spouse, family members, etc. 2 to 3 users as well, or partner accounts with access. So you want to make sure that your business manager looks like it's active and it's spending money, it's got people on it. And you also want to make sure that all of those accounts are real human beings with posts, groups, friends, so they're actual people. If you don't have anyone within your facility that you could add, then I would just add, for example, a couple of friends in there as users. Don't give them any access to anything, but just to have them there just in case. And the final point here is that you want to actually create a backup business manager. Now, I mentioned right at the start that your business manager is connected to your personal Facebook account. So when it comes to setting up backup business managers and pretty much repeating this entire structure here for another business manager, you run into a little bit of an issue because you can only create one business manager per Facebook account. So what you're going to need to do here is, unless you already have a second Facebook account that you could use to create a backup business manager, you're going to want to use a friend or family's account. Make sure that you've got full admin access. So what I mean by that is you want to ask your spouse, a close relative, anybody that you wouldn't mind and doesn't already have a business manager, if you could create one using their Facebook account, because it needs to be, as I've said, a real human being. Otherwise, you risk just getting it banned again. Now, you'd only ever really need to use the backup business manager if anything was to happen to your personal Facebook account or you got locked out from your own business manager. So it's always good to have this, we call it double layered protection, whereby if I was to hop into my business manager here, and this is a prime example, I just go into my business settings, partners, you can see that this backup here has got partner access to my main business manager, which is through EasyFlex, and I've got shared assets. So let's say this was my main one and I wanted to connect it with another business, my backup business manager. I would click add at the top here, give a partner access to your assets, and then you're going to need their business manager ID, which if you don't know yours already, click down here into business information, and that is going to be that number there. Now, connecting with third parties, this is really important, as I know it's pretty common to be connecting with other businesses or potentially agencies in the space to run your ads or manage your business manager on behalf of you. So I'm going to give you some ground rules because, first of all, no matter what, you should always aim to run ads for your business on your business manager using your ad accounts and your pixel. The main reason is, well, if you're spending money on ads, you need to be collecting your own data and improving your own spending reputation with Meta. So don't allow anybody to run things that's your intellectual property, like your creatives, etc., using their own business managers, spending their own money or whatever it is. It may sound like it's good, but in the long run, you want to build up your own bank of data and your own reputation with your business manager. Otherwise, you fall risk of it just being banned at any moment. So if you're thinking of having a third party run your ads, then they must always have their team added as individual users in your business manager with admin access to your ad accounts and pixel. So it's very simple. They would need to be here as people. And then for your ad accounts, you would need to just go through here and assign people. And one last thing is pixels. That'll be under data sets. Again, if you want to create a pixel, very simple, just click here, add, name it. But you can choose who you share this with. You want to make sure you share it with individually with people and also partners. So I'll quickly go on to that now. You want to connect their business manager to your ad accounts, including backups via partner access as well. So this is going to be a third party's business, another one of these business managers, but then you want to also have them as people so they can come in and log in through your business manager and access it through yours. This creates that double layered protection. And that just means that if anything were to happen to one of your own ad accounts, then using the partner integration, the third party can run your ads from one of their own ad accounts inside of their own business manager instead, while you obviously work on recovering your account or setting up your backup business manager. So hopefully that's clear. Now we're going to go into ad account survival. So I've got a bit of a checklist we need to go through in terms of bulletproofing your ad accounts. You can follow these guidelines. So first of all, we want to have a clean business manager set up with a registered company, credit cards, address, making sure that when we go into here, and I may have to blur some of this out, but the business address within your business information, legal business name, legal address, like within high level, it needs to be exactly as it is on your EIN, on your registered tax ID, etc. You want to make sure you've got a website set up, including privacy policy, terms, contact information. We've already covered you guys for that. If you've added your domain that you created within the system initiation and added to that funnel, we've already gone through and sorted that all out for you. Having a Meta business page set up with frequent social posts, we went through that. Logging in through business manager and not a personal account. This is quite important. So just making sure every time you want to access this account, we always go to business.facebook and not anything else. And then also, once we have ads launched, just don't reply to negative comments on ad posts. If you start replying, it's just going to send a bad message to Meta, and they're going to be more likely to look at you and not think you're a reputable business. And bear in mind, negative comments are always good for the algorithm. They actually boost your ads to more people. You get more impressions. So just leave them there, let them talk if they have to. It's going to be inevitable. Some people are just haters. Let's be honest. In terms of ad safety precautions, I'm going to go through the ad approval ratio. So typically what we've seen through running many ads before is that the ratio of approved ads, and approved ads just means that Meta's gone through its screening process and it's given you the green light to go ahead and launch your ad. That ratio is typically 9 out of 10 approved ads. Now, what I can do is I can show you Facebook ad standards. So you can go ahead and Google this yourselves, as they're always updating this, and it's always good to keep on top of this. Meta advertising standards, as you can see here. And what this document is, as I said, it's regularly updated. It goes through all the things that you shouldn't include in your ads so that you have a higher likely chance of getting approved for your ads and just not having to go through all that manual and not having to go through that whole period of trying to get approved again. So we want to minimize the amount of times that our ad doesn't get approved because it doesn't look good for our account. So we need to go through these settings here. Again, COVID-19, just make sure we're not mentioning it. Cryptocurrency. This is all, a lot of it is going to be common sense, but you'd be surprised. Some other things as well. So like attention grabs, misleading claims. Obviously, we're going to help you guys with a copy as much as we can as well, but just being careful with pattern interruption. By that, I just mean you got to think of what people are on Facebook for. So when we're advertising through Facebook or Instagram, Meta doesn't want people to leave their platform. So if we're doing things that are putting off people that are on their platform and it doesn't look native to the platform, then we're not going to be in Meta's good books. So what I mean by that is your ads need to seem organic on the Facebook news feed and not too disruptive, not too crazy. It needs to blend in within what people go onto Facebook to look for, people go onto Instagram to look for, which is people smiling, looking happy, enjoying life, right? Also, just sticking away from unrealistic claims like, I don't know, drop 50 pounds in 10 days with us, or get summer ready in just 5 days. Like, it's obviously not going to happen. So just don't be misleading with what you say. The main one this really is for is money claims, but that doesn't really come into a factor when we're talking about advertising for gyms and etc. And finally here, start slow and scale. We always want to start slow with just one single campaign and some basic creatives and angles inside just a couple of ad sets before we then start to look to scale. So don't jump into this thinking you can start putting a bunch of money in. I doubt this is going to apply to many of you anyway, but just making sure that we're building up over time. We're not starting with 5 different campaigns. We found that the best way to keep your ad account safe is just to always start slow, one single campaign, and then just increasing that spend. And then just finishing off here with ad spend. The more that you spend with Meta, the more they trust you and the more they allow you freedom to open new ad accounts. And just in general, they're off your back a little bit. So the more you can spend, the better. And that's just really a waiting game of having ads set up. And that's why actually at EasyFlex, we even recommend that people just run ads, even if it's at a really low budget, year round, even just like a $5 a day one, year round, just to make sure that you keep up that reputation. It's going to go a long way and save you a lot of headache down the road. Now, what I've also included for you guys is what we call the Meta Info Hub. So we want to, now that we've set up our Meta Business account and we've got all of our details on there, we've imported things, we want to store the Meta Business Manager information in an easily accessible and shareable document. And we call this, as I said, the Meta Info Hub. And we use this to personally to store all of our account details and basically have all of our account details readily accessible. So what you can do is create your copy. If I was to click here, you want to click here and just create a copy of this. And you want to go through and, as I've said, put in the Business Manager ID. For ad account ID, that's very simple to find. If I were to just go back into my Business Manager, into my ad accounts, it's just this number at the top here. Copy to clipboard, go through here, and paste that in like so. So again, make a copy of this. It's going to be below this video in the description. And we're especially going to need this when it comes to setting up things like the Meta Pixel tracking and things like that. So make a copy now and we'll refer back to this when we get into the ads module. So finally, the action steps for today. The main things we need to make sure we've got set up. It's going to be, first of all, that Meta Business page, making sure we've got frequent posts on there, at least 300 to 500 likes, and that's all integrated within our Meta Business Managers, potentially. So set up that main one as the way we've described, 2 to 3 users, 2 to 3 backup admins, and then potentially having a backup business manager with all of your shareable assets through that partner integration so that you can control it through the backup if you need to. In terms of ad accounts, making sure we've set that up using the custom columns, the attribution data like we've set up, cleaning up the ads manager, setting up the custom audiences, and then finally downloading the Meta Info Hub document so that we can store all of our details and have that readily available to share. So after this episode, you should have one main business manager, one backup business manager. You should have all of your assets connected. That's pages, verified domains, ad accounts, pixels, users, and then 3 to 5 backup admins for pages and ad accounts. That's for both. That's all, and I'll catch you in the next one.